I can't use public transportation after 7 p.m. I can't be brutally honest when you slide into my DMs. I can't go to the club just to dance with my friends, and I can't ever leave my drink unattended. But it sure is scary time for boys. Yeah, gentlemen, band together, make some noise. It's really tough when your reputation's on the line, and any woman you've assaulted could turn up anytime. Yeah, it sure is scary time for guys. Can't speak to any woman or look her in the eyes. It's so confusing, is it right?
So, speaking about male privilege, I was watching Steven Crowder, and he did male privilege. I don't know if it was male privilege or male white privilege, but male was in there. Is a myth. What is it? Tell Me How I'm Wrong. You know, that series that he did.
Changed My Mind.
Changed My Mind, right.
Yeah.
That series. And there was some white guy who was just all over him. He was saying, well, he came up with, he was all about rape. You know, rapes are committed by men, and because we're stronger than women, and that's why, you know, there's all rape, and that's part of male privilege, is strength. And I thought...
Okay, well, that's... Sorry, but that's just... That's luck of the draw, man.
Well, I thought that's really, see, I hate that when they use things that are advantages to a certain, you know, gender or a certain racial group, or, you know, when they say, okay, somebody has an advantage, and then, you know, so a lot of people have different talents. So, I mean, are we going to say, well, you know, tall people have privilege because they can, like, reach things, and they can, you know, are we going to say, you know, well, short people, jockeys have privilege, you know, or, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't, everybody has different skill. That's like going, Adele has privilege.
Using your skill to you know, forcibly have sex with somebody is a little different than being able to you know, access the top shelf at a grocery store.
Right, I get that, but that's a crime. Okay, that's not.
I understand it's a crime.
That's not privilege. You know, when you equate like privilege with somebody's like
I get it.
skill
I get it.
to like to like a crime. I mean,
I'm with you. I'm not trying to
so what I hated about that was you know, I love Steven Crowder. He should have just jumped onto that immediately and said, so what, everybody has advantages in life. Everybody has certain skills in life. We're not all the same. You know, some people are tall, some people are short, some people have, you know, singing abilities, some people can play the piano, some people, you know what I mean? Some people are good at sports, some people are good at math. You know, we all have some kind of skill that we can use, you know, to our advantage. Women can have children. Men can't have children. Does that mean women have, you know, women privilege? You know, female privilege because they can have children? I mean,
there's plenty of privilege on the female side of things too. Honestly, dude,
I hate that term. So
the privilege.
Yeah, it's because privilege. The term privilege. That's why they use it. The term privilege implies that you basically you are endowed it, right?
It's like it's unearned.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure. I mean, I guess technically a skill is unearned, but it's not as if one person has a specific skill or ability, it's not as if you don't have a different ability. You know, I mean,
there's got to be somebody who has no ability.
Well, that person can complain. It's like the movie Twins, right?
Exactly.
How did they describe him?
All the crap that was left over. Dude, when it comes to like privilege, you know, men can rape because they're stronger. I'm a big fan of transitioning to the gun argument right there. Like, well, that's why we need a Second Amendment, and women need to be able to conceal carry. to avoid situations like that. Because guess what? It doesn't matter how strong I am when I got a bullet in my chest, right?
Right.
That's pretty much the takeaway on that. So it's a dumb argument and it's easily defeated, and that's what I found a lot of those, Change My Mind series. They come up with dumb arguments because they're people off the street. Very rarely have I seen them make any valid points, and certainly not anything that Steven Crowder couldn't bat down because he was already prepared. And honestly, some of the stuff that he comes up with, I was like, I wouldn't have argued it that way.
Right.
I think that it sort of fails in some. I think he sort of fails in some of his points because he tends to stick on one point and just keep rolling with it.
And he badgers people too, even though he says he doesn't. He does. He does badger them. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes and so.
Sorry, Steve.
If he's watching the show, leave us a dislike and give me a discount on Mug Club. Maybe we'll start talking more favorably.
Maybe he'll start calling us incels.
Anyway, no, I like that series. I like the series, and I think that I could do a better job with a lot of those points. I just don't get in those situations very often. I mean, a lot of the people that I work with are very much on the left, and if I just opened up on them, I would be without a job. Even if I was nice and civil and everything else, and
sad, right?
it would be. I honestly think I would get fired just because nobody would be willing to work with me on the team. And
my brother's the same way, and he. He's in the movie industry, and he just has to just bite his tongue, and that's tough sometimes.
It is tough. Well, it makes me wonder sometimes if I'm not the only one in the room, biting my tongue at the time.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
Plus, I found that a lot of people, that they really lean to the left on the surface. Like you scratch a little bit below the surface of their argument. Basically you scratch the MSNBC or the CNN off that they've been watching, and just look at how they really feel about the issue itself, the core issue, and they're really pretty moderate.
Yeah.
The radical left, even though that's what comes out of their mouth initially, that's not what's in the hearts of most of the people.
I honestly believe that the country is still right leaning, so right center as they call it, country. So
I don't think people realize how right center they really are until you start, until you start raising points like that. And they're like male privilege because they can get raped. And like, well, I think females should be able to have a gun. Prevent that. They should be able to defend themselves legally. Whoa, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that makes sense. That's like, how do they argue that? Your crazy left would have a great argument for that, but the average person doesn't because they know it's true.
They gloss over the idea that women, can predate also. I mean, there's been countless stories of women who are predatory towards students.
Yeah.
Countless. So, and they use, and
what do
they use? They have their own privilege too then, right? Because they use their femininity, their emotiveness, I mean,